Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
What do you think?
What do I think about what?
I got the Dylan books back.
Oh,
underneath me.
I see.
I decided that my old man neck looks slightly better in this shirt.
Uh-huh.
So for your viewing pleasure.
Luckily, the microphone is blocking your turkey waddle.
When I was about 35, I was about 40 on a set of something. This guy, I could tell he didn't have a great sense of humor anyway.
Uh-huh.
But he said, you have more chins than a Chinese phone book. In the middle of a shoot, I was 35 at the time.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I was really... It made me actually stop and go, is this true?
Right.
That's not a good cameraman.
I have a hacky chin? Really?
He told me that also he had his dental appointment that day was at 2:30.
Ah.
But the regular dentist...
See, that's the problem with your demeanor.
Yes. No, I mean, actually, I agreed to what was wrong with my demeanor before I knew what you were going to say was wrong.
The problem for you about your demeanor is that when you're in joker mode on a set, everyone feels like they can joker back at you.
Right. That's absolutely true. And I just realized another thing.
Let me do 5 minutes about how I just blew a line. Everyone loves that.
It's actually, and I'm thinking it's actually poetic justice that my fear of contracting COVID made me bomb for 3 straight years in any public place.
Wow.
Because I have a mask on.
Uh-huh.
And my devilishly hilarious...
Funny chin.
I can scooch. Everyone's laughing. And still, because I'm not Columbo... I'm Sherman Oaks PI, I still go, why am I not killing?
Uh-huh.
Don't they know I'm kidding? No, you're a masked man who's in a supermarket who's very old. They can tell you're very old and masked. Did I hurt your feelings? I'm sorry.
What does that mean even?
That's a narcissistic personality disorder person compensating by going, have I hurt you? No, but if you say it one more time... You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with too much of wolfing. What is it?
I don't know.
Dead wolfing? Don't dead name wolf me. Crying wolf. Have you ever heard me cry wolf? You want to go to sleep with me? You got some great gams, toots. Do you get what I'm doing?
You're being a wolf whistle, like a
you have great
Tex
Avery
toots. Wolf, I guess.
I sure like to give you the horizontal cha-cha, booka, boo, 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 boo. You have to admit, it's not funny, it's not good, it's not coherent,
right?
It won't edit well, but at least I'm getting rid of it.
Are you, though?
No, I think I'm... Now, I'm very excited for you, Mr. Josh.
Are you?
Yes, because this week, you can only do one day. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry that we're only giving you an hour or 59 minutes for free for the last fucking 17 years while you suck at us like a leech. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
But I got excited because I think I know where you're going, but I don't know. I don't really... Okay, all right, okay. Hey, we're one away.
Why do you even hire the triangle player to come over to your house in the morning?
So you are going away this week, I assume maybe Minnesota.
That is correct.
Okay, and tell me what you're doing. Tell the people what you're doing up there. 65 degrees downtown Los Angeles. We're talking to Josh Elvis Weinstein of the podcast Thought Spiral, and he's going to be coming to Minnesota this week, and he's going to be, what are you doing this week? In town. 65 degrees, 6. Okay, sorry.
I'm going to take Taekwondo so I can finally put you down.
No, but you have to admit, it's still got a modicum of humor left when I do that.
It depends where you deploy it. It really does.
As a block tactic for your input, not good.
I'm going to Acme for a book. There's a book about Lewis and Acme. I think it's called Home Club by Patrick Strait. And now, there's an event to launch the book. So I and a few other, Acme Home Club comics are going to be there for this panel launch thing night. And just to see Lewis actually get on stage for this makes it worth the trip, really.
Is he doing stand-up?
He hates that shit.
Oh, no, just being out there talking.
Yes.
He does not like to be the center of attention.
No, but...
Even though he commissioned the book.
I was about to say, there's only so much you can shirk that off when there's a book about you.
Yes, I had a different joke. Yes. I had a different joke, which was more weird. But now, let me ask you this. I still think I'm a DJ on a show. I'm very sorry. It's hard for me to get out of character. But let me ask you this. Is there an audio book for Mr. Andy Kindler to listen to?
I don't think there is, but... do you recall that sort of private mini doc I made about Lewis a few years back?
Oh, yeah, sure.
A lot of the book is pretty much based on that.
Oh, okay. I love that.
Literally based on that. He, like many of the interview quotes come directly from that. So, with my permission, but.
You never talked about his many years in and I'm trying to think of a Chinese thing, in the Dang, like in the some kind of terrorist organization joke about a Chinese fella. You never talk. Does he ever talk about the time when he punched Mao in the face? Does that ever come? Okay, that's actually a version of a joke by Eric Tunney. Because I was thinking of it as I was saying it. Who used to say, his grandfather. His grandfather always come up with these stories. Yeah, I know, Grandpa. You had a fist fight with Hitler. I know. So that's what I was paraphrasing.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I hope your conscience is clear now.
It is clear, even though Eric Tunney has passed on to the next dimension. There's two parts to it. Does a show like this need footnotes, really? Are people on the phone going, where the fuck did he get that Damon Tong that he couldn't even execute? Where did you get that bit from?
Right.
Why can't I think of Falun Gong? The Falun Gong. I think that's Chinese. I don't know what I'm saying.
Falun Gong. You were talking about Chinese before.
So when are you coming back from the area?
I'll be going Wednesday to Saturday.
Oh, my God. I don't know why I said that
like
that. Well, this, I think, would be except for the fact that I wouldn't want to get on a plane. Why am I doing this? I'm bringing my own problems to you. I wouldn't want to get on a plane, so I was going to say something about air traffic controllers. What's the point of it, Josh?
Do you think I could still be doing this show if I actually absorbed your anxieties?
That's true. Probably not.
There's just no way. No, I've got my own. I have my own questions about the whole system and its soundness right now. But that's how
you would be a fool. You would be a fool not to have it.
That's how much I love Louis Lee, and I also love my brother, who I'll get to see. So
right,
and friends, many friends.
Yeah. So what's the point of
a dwindling number of friends, but solid friends nonetheless.
You mean because they're dying or something?
No, just because I haven't lived in Minneapolis in 35 years.
Well, my friends are dying, Josh. Why don't you suck that in for a second and turn it down? Okay, you don't know. This is an old guy.
I just died.
This is an old guy who thinks he's the first person who's faced this.
Okay. I'm glad you've really framed the character well.
I lost 15 friends last year. Well, what happened? One was 97. Very, very old peripheral show business figures.
Right.
Joanne Worley's aunt, I got friendly with.
She went extremely peacefully, surrounded by loved ones. At 97. God damn it, I can't take this tragedy.
I woke up today on the wrong side of the Jew. I'll tell you that. Yeah, Andy, you need more Jewish references. Write it down. I just happened to get up, and I'm not telling you I did this on purpose. It just happened to be on Morning Joe. And I got to tell you, after a half hour of just staring at the screen, I was like, if you don't understand why you become suicidal, that's how your life can get out of control. So I watch it all the way to the end where Leslie Bibb comes on my favorite, literally I'm saying this is my favorite show right now in the entire world. White Lotus. I'm a fan. I'm like The Sopranos when they were on the air. And Leslie Bibb is coming on. She's great on the show, and she's saying, you know, do you look back at your? She goes, well, I don't look back at my own stuff, you know, which I feel like that sometimes too. You don't want to look back at yourself acting.
Yeah, but you have a reason.
Well, what's the name of the lady who's married to Joe? It was so obnoxious. Mika Brzezinski. She goes, I don't like to look at myself, Leslie. Goes, no, you're wonderful. You're wonderful. No. Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that. So, you know, it was like ghoulish. It was a half hour of the world is ending, and then even they do something about a show I like, and I'm embarrassed for everyone involved. I'm embarrassed for Leslie Bibb to be on it.
Yeah.
Because like Mika, you don't even know what she says. She came from a different planet. No, are you? Well, you know, I really don't like to watch myself. What? Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. You're good. You're sorry. I am sorry, Al. Did you see the Dan Marsh?
Mika has the big new issues.
Did you see the lovely informational thing from Dan Marsh? It really made my weekend. And maybe you didn't see it, and that's why you're looking at me like, what's this guy talking about?
No, it's I think I know what you're talking about, but can't pull it out. Face.
Okay, it's like I've been enjoying, me and the wife have been enjoying these kind of things. Like we'll go to the store or we'll order from Costco candy hearts.
Oh, that's
candy
right. It
drops.
was a grape thing.
Right. But the thing was, I didn't know that it was a thing. And this is like, okay, please don't enhance any concept of myself as being stupid. Okay.
Don't enhance it. Okay.
Don't enhance it. But they said it's bad when someone has to get a ground rules of how they can mock you. He called it embryonic. He said this was made by embryonic something or other. So they open it something, they stop it from doing something, and they open it up in the lab.
Uh-huh.
And then I started to think, how many grapes can you grow indoors? I thought for a second, laboratory grown, and laboratory, not like then you bring it out into the real world, but laboratory grown, and it stays in this labyrinth of a laboratory. Grown. Like tell me I'm
like primo
wrong.
Weed, do you think they're growing it? Like all indoors?
Yeah, hydroponically. Yeah. But tell me I'm right. It's grown outside.
Yes,
yes. Thank you.
Because I don't want to enhance your stupidity self-concept.
But the thing, yes. And the thing that's amazing about it is that these varietals are great. The cotton candy has disappointed us. But they are now coming up with these. It stopped
surprising us. That's the real thing. It
stopped surprising us. But these things like Moscato, I was just treating it like it was wine. So I was thinking like I'll have a Cabernet Sauvignon. But I didn't know I was onto something, and I still can't remember. I memorized what Dan Marsh said. But since I played the dumb guy on the podcast, I can't remember what it was exactly.
I play the ADD guy, so I only kind of glanced at it, didn't really retain it, vaguely remembered it happened.
Someone was bringing up the idea of I don't know where I heard this, hyperfocus, the part of ADD that's hyperfocus. I don't really necessarily have this, but some people who have ADD have this. This is where they can get, well, maybe you have it a little bit. You can get absorbed for hours in one thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't have.
You don't have just the YouTube videos a little bit.
Not even no, I don't have it with YouTube videos. I can do it with video games occasionally.
Oh, okay,
but they're designed to constantly engage you. You know,
right.
Editing to some extent. If I'm really in the thick of a project, I can just tear through days editing. Yeah, but it's hard for me to get on the horse still.
Okay, so that's not hyperfocus then. The hyperfocus is what Susan has hyperfocus. First of all, she's a perfectionist, so she can do, Photoshop for, not now she's not doing it, but she's done it for 80 hours in a row without realizing, you know what I mean? Just staying in there and not being bored, just being hyper focused.
Yeah, I don't really have that.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because I never really realized that part of it is actually part of the symptoms.
It's a spectrum, I believe.
That's true. Well, that is true. I agree with you 100%.
But what I have found is that during Trump 2 thus far, my ADD has just been raging. I have had such a hard time focusing on fucking anything.
That makes sense because the anxiety probably increases your inability. I guess, to focus.
Yeah. There's just always something that my brain can go to that's awful. I think, but it's been really bad. I've been dropping balls even.
Like appointments, you mean, or
not
like
appointments,
lunches?
but just like correspondence and things I have to get done, and yeah, it's been.
You've been kindling some things.
Been kindling a little bit. It's not a good way to go through the world, let me tell you. And I guess I don't have to tell you.
And may I say once again how I empathize with what a clod you are. I remember the word clod this weekend and used it on several online arguments.
It's very Mad Magazine.
Well, I'm sorry you feel. I mean, I'm sorry that you feel that way. And the other thing is, like Susan and I, we were having a discussion and whatever, and we started to get a little testy. And then we both had to say, I don't know why I said testy. We both had to say that we both feel that we can't forget that there is this black cloud over my head. Like, I couldn't watch anything. If you want to take, I'll just say this one thing. If you want to take it out, but why would you take it? I couldn't watch anything. And then I did watch them taking these people who we don't know why they took back to over to El Salvador. And I didn't look at the photo series of it, but that one really fundamentally got me on the, oh my God, this is like dehumanizing, purposeful dehumanization.
Yes.
Meant to scare others.
Yes. All true.
But the light side is, what can you do?
I wrote what I thought was a good joke this weekend. On the bright side, doctors are reporting that patients who they give terminal diagnoses to are taking it much better these days.
Oh, I don't even get it. I don't even quite get it. Explain it to me why that's funny.
Because people don't mind that they're going to die.
Okay, I didn't get it then. I didn't get it. Oh, I'm very upset. The doctor said I had 2 years to live. Well, that's not so bad. I wanted less.
Yes, at least now you get it.
I asked my doctor to take me off of the experimental drugs. Okay, my mind started going to something else, and then I realized one of my big problems with this whole thing is, it's like I feel like this blaming. My therapist pointed this out. This blaming the victim thing starts to get a little bit much. And what I mean is, you can blame the Harris campaign a million years, but the victims are the people who are now being deported. It's like if you focus all your energy on how much you hate Harris and how much she fucked it up, and also those are the same people who told me they were going to vote for Nader in 2000. This is not an old argument that some of these people are making. And then, I've been supporting AOC. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, nothing. I'm just not mixing it up with the same people as you online. I don't.
I'm not really mixing it up. It's like I just happened. Mostly, I do the Elvis Weinstein online behavior, which is mostly the only thing you should do. And maybe really the only thing you should do, just ignore the things, even from friends. Like, I have a friend who has a show. It's a great show. And Ina is the name of her show. But then she said, when she blames Democrats, I take it very personally, right? But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? People, it's not meant to me.
Right.
It's like, it's only when I go, oh, she's saying it to me. It's only when I personalize it or I Dave Anthonyize it, which is I take it into Dave Anthony saying to me, oh, you don't care? Oh, I don't think you cared about the drones that were killed with Obama's drones that killed 85 billion people in Schmadoopy land, right?
Yeah.
When it's on that level, I have to learn, which I think I am learning. Nobody has the right to tell me I'm like evil or moving towards evil because of my opinions, you know? And so, but the other part of that is that everybody's got these really, really strong opinions, and what are you going to do? It's like really, it's that time period now where there is a lot of blame going around.
Yeah, no, everyone is just scrambling and terrified, and I mean, the biggest factor in all of this is that we're talking about 2 months, and people expect this well organized defense against this absolute inundation of bullshit.
Yeah, why didn't they're claiming that, first of all, on the one hand, the argument is the election doesn't matter, but then on the other side, it's like two arguments that are being made. The same people, a lot of people say it doesn't matter who's in charge. But then that's such an obvious lie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, it's okay. No, you're not interrupting me. I'm just kind of overwhelmed by it all right now.
It is. I don't blame you. It's overwhelming.
And it's like, when it comes to social media, it's like, it's just meaningless to me right now.
Well, you're absolutely right.
Especially Blue Sky, which I like just tonally for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it feels more like my people than other places.
Nicer
Apparently, once you get over 10,000, it becomes a shitstorm for you because everyone's bots are triggered for those accounts or whatever.
So we should keep it where we are.
Yeah, let's stay mediocre, baby.
What?
But
I'm coming after you, Weinstein.
But yeah, come on, bring it on. But it's like, because it's so lefty, basically, it's like a bunch of lefties bitching at a bunch of lefties.
I know. Yes,
and it's like, yes, okay, yes. And it's not like I want people to not speak out about any of this stuff, but it just feels like it's like, echo chamber's the wrong word for it.
Right.
But it's like, this energy isn't moving the ball,
Well, that's how I felt when I watched. Like, I've been contributing to AOC. I like the way she talks, and I like the way she does politics. But I see her with Bernie Sanders. It's like Bernie Sanders is 95 years old and screaming. He didn't win, and he's still saying we've done nothing on nothing on medical.
Yeah, but you know what? People want to see some fucking Democrats screaming right now. That's I mean, that's the appeal of it, is people want to see some fucking screaming.
I withdraw my previous comment. I wish more people would go to see Bernie.
But I mean, it means, as much as I can roll my eyes at that too, at Bernie and AOC's tour, it's like,
at least they're trying to do.
At least it's in the real world. At least it's happening in the real world. It's not people mistaking what they're typing for action. It's people doing something in the real world.
But I just think it's funny to say that the reason why we lost is because we abandoned. We abandoned trans people. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I know.
We're not going to abandon trans people next time. I didn't abandon trans people.
No, I know, but you can't take that personally.
I can't take that personally. Is exactly. You have said two things over the last month that succinctly should end any more discussion or in my mind about it. You said, my whole thing about it, I'm looking down the street. I don't know what's happening because I'm not in the moment. You said, watch where you're going. You know how often I say that now? It's shorter than the things I usually say.
Sure.
Watch.
That's my gift is conciseness, really.
It's so beautiful. It also takes me off of my high horse. And then the other one is don't take it personally.
You can't take it personally.
You can't take it personally. Yeah. And that's what I learned this last weekend when I dipped my toe into the outrage lake. And so here's the thing. I need to have empathy. I know this sounds ridiculous. I need to have empathy for myself And that's what I've been doing. I'm pulling myself out of the thing. You know what I mean? It's like the algorithm draws you in.
Yeah.
You know, so you want to go, look, Sminky. No. You have to remove yourself from this environment that you have unknowingly you knowingly participated in, but you unknowingly slipped into the trap of all these things.
Right. Your previous behavior literally set its own trap for yourself.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Watch where you're going. You can't take it personally. And if you go to Zazzle, the Zazzle store, is it Zazzle?
Zazzle, yeah.
Yeah, and you want to, we have You Can't Take It Personally T-shirts. You know what it is? I don't think we're as capitalistic as I thought.
We really aren't, and it is both. It's both so emblematic of my entire life and career.
Right. You can't go in any one direction. You can't be a capitalist asshole and overselling stuff.
I can't both care about it and hard sell it, because the hard selling, it robs it of meaning of the caring about it for me somehow.
Yeah, and I don't put people down, but
it's really resulted in failure and obscurity for me. But in a way, it's a proud obscururity in a way too.
I think you're right. Because look, how much money would we make if we were saying, I don't know what the current thing is. Hey, Josh, do you use Squarespace at all?
I don't think Squarespace is even in the game anymore.
Okay, well, give me one that's in the game now.
I don't know.
Okay, but the point is, you'd never feel great about it. And how much money would you make on it? Not much.
Look, my attitude, if we had millions of listeners, my attitude would be different.
Well, then we would do differently. Then it would be like, I want this, go to my PC. Have you gone to it yet? I have the remember when I made fun of the Dollar Shave Club? No longer. I now order my, so I guess I would say anything, and I wouldn't endorse napalm.
No, I think, there's a way to do it without endorsing horrible products, probably. But
no, it's fine. Some of my favorite people, but I actually laugh when I know that they're lying. Some of my people lie. They go, "Oh, you should get this great thing." There's a true crime show. Oh, and the commercial is, you could play your own true crime game. You solve it. I've been playing it at home myself, and it's wonderful. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I don't know who listens to that kind of thing. These kind of like interactive, I don't know how popular they are on any level.
Yeah.
Podcasts. We'll send you clues. Who is who?
Yeah.
Who's that? Okay. All right. I'm sorry.
I think it's the same kind of people who go to like Tony and Tina's wedding. Once Upon a Mystery or whatever. Those.
I as soon as you said that, I had this image about being in one of those companies, and there's going to be one of the audience members is going to get in your face or ruin the fucking show. There's no other way, because aren't they allowed to interact, or is it that they're allowed to walk up to you and you're supposed to think that's great, or do you interact with them?
I think the actors interact. I think it's the actors bring the interactive energy.
Someone's going to get punched. Some audience member.
It's not like people are going unsuspectingly. It's not like they're being told they're going to a real wedding.
Right. It's like that. It's like you can't. It's like someone not knowing they went to an escape room. They know what they're getting into.
Exactly. Yes.
I don't think there are escape rooms anymore.
There are They absolutely are escape rooms still. Because why not bring a little extra anxiety into your life with a bunch of people?
I was thinking about when I never liked video games, but I did in a brief period like to play pinball when I was doing coke.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's great.
That makes sense.
That's wonderful, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never had the combo, but
okay, you haven't had the combo. Let's say you're feeling like you are feeling ecstasy because you're feeling this. Oh my God, it's so exciting to bounce the things off the things.
No, I understand the basic.
Yes, you understand the drug feeling about it.
Yeah.
But so I just wanted to convey that.
Also, bells and lights.
Bells and lights. And actually getting into... See, I have problems with sports maybe it's ADHD, but you play pool, so it's not just ADHD. But sports like, if you call bowling a sport, like where you try it a couple of games and you start to get sore, and it's just like, it's not for me. I don't enjoy it. I don't want to look down and make sure I can get this 3 ball in the 5 pocket.
Yeah.
Now
I have very different feelings about those 2 games.
Pool and what?
And bowling.
Oh, okay. Tell me.
Pool I enjoy quite a bit. Bowling I find super boring.
I can see that. I can see that right away, because you're not, you're around the table, talking to people. You're not like sitting in.
Well, no, but it's also every shot is different, and every shot has its own problem. Bowling, it's the exact same shot and the exact same problem every single time. Right,
but your ability to do
you
like.
You remember Jeff Stilson?
Oh yeah, sure.
He was talking about, this is in the 80s, but he had a bit about bowling commentary. What do you think he's going to do here? Well, I think he's going to try to knock those pins down, Bob.
Yeah, what is the bowling commentary? It's mostly about how the guy's done recently and where he's from.
Yeah.
It's not that there's, what would you do? They don't go to a group of analysts. Okay, we got Grandpa's teeth. Let's go to our analysts in the booth. And that they have different things, like they covering zone defenses. There's not that many ways to approach Grandpa's team.
Right, which is why Jeff narrowed it down to one line that just said everything you just did.
You know what? Is he filling up the space on this goddamn podcast?
Well, he was. No. He was, by me representing him.
I'm very friendly with Jeff Stilson. I think he lives in Australia. I forgot where he lives.
I don't know. He did at some point.
Yeah,
but
with Drake Savers, Marnie. I don't know why I'm like an old Jew on a deathbed.
Gossipy.
And then,
but
did you ever work with him?
But he was one when I was a teenager. He was one of the headliners I worked with, where it was like we had total bonding over being joke nerds and spent all week writing jokes together. And then I went on the road and did some weeks with him as his feature so we could do it some more. And it was fun.
Oh, man. And, you can't get those. The only way that you can communicate that time period of our life is to turn it into a bad biopic or movie. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where you and I are sitting in the hotel room. Josh, I just thought of something. Oh, wait, buddy boy. You can only cheapen it by trying to recreate it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying don't.
I just cheapened it by talking about it, I think.
Yeah, I wish you hadn't. Leon Russell. Am I wrong about him?
It depends.
I love Leon Russell.
Then no.
I love Leon Russell, and I know I've talked about him before. And I know that there's this thing where here's what the most obnoxious part of what I go through. I hear Leon Russell do This Masquerade, which I had originally heard George Benson do, but Leon Russell wrote it. And I immediately go, this happened yesterday. I love this. I love this so much. I'm cheating others by not communicating. I'm going to I didn't send it. I'm sending Josh a text right now. Check out this version of Leon Russell. Check out This Masquerade. It's unbelievable, right? Okay. So I don't do those things, but there's something in me where it goes from wonderful experience to I want to tell somebody about this wonderful experience to you people don't understand how important the song This Masquerade is musically.
Right.
You don't get it.
Right.
So, and I'm just saying it's obnoxious. It's interesting, these kind of characters, but they're obnoxious ultimately.
Well, the self-aware overlord of them all is getting control, it seems a little bit, though. That's nice.
That's right. Are you saying that I'm getting healthier?
Yeah, I do, because these were impulses that you examined rather than indulged.
Oh, I mean, if I could get that lesson before I am defensive with my wife, that would be great.
Yeah, well, we're all work in progress.
Because you like the Katzenjammer kids, or what is it? What's the classic arguments between the wife? Bickersons, that's right. The Katzenjammers or something else.
It's much different, yes.
I would, if you were to record how much time we've spent on me going, is that Harold Stassen? Are you talking about Edwin Newman? I would say you have 30 solid hours of that. Not that anybody would want to listen to it, but it's great.
Yeah, I probably won't montage it all together.
Do you feel like that you're like today you feel like I cared more about the podcast? Also, I'm clear-eyed.
Yeah.
Yes, because I put a shirt on.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm clear-eyed.
Yeah, no, it's Monday's better in that regard.
Monday's better, he said. That's what you said.
Right.
Really, that would be, Andy, you really do prove that you're one of the best listeners in the world by the way you say the last thing back.
You're good like
clear.
You listen like a parrot, this guy.
I listen like a parrot, apparently. Apparently. So this I feel very happy about because at 7:30 to 8, I'm staring. And I know you love Morning Joe. I understand it. No, it's not 7:30 to 8. This must be. Oh, I went back in time. So this must be the last hour of Morning Joe I watched.
So you woke up at 7, then rewound morning so you could watch Morning Joe? I don't want the
commercials. I don't want the commercials. But you go, oh, there's got to be something here. I know there's not going to be anything there.
No.
I know it. And even when they interview an actor on a show I love, I know that's not going to be satisfying. Because Mika, it's like Mika's like, she's like she prowls around as if she's never seen a celebrity before. I mean, it's really kind of weird in a way. And then it's like, well, I don't like to watch myself on film. You should watch yourself. Come on. I know you love it, but it's enough.
You need a better first thing to do.
Yes. And the other problem was...
Try morning pages.
I've done that. The other problem was we were watching Max last night. And this happens to me probably 8 times a week. The volume, I don't know why they can't figure this problem out. But the volume
between the apps and the cable is much different.
Holy motherfucker. So I come in here and it's like my eardrums burst before I could turn it down.
Yeah.
And then it's like, so now, but the point is, I usually put it on our go-to station because you made fun of and you got me thinking about TCM. You're like, ooh, I don't want to be one of those people as TCM in the background, right? So our go-to station is HGTV, and it's just it's not good enough.
Just as ancient.
It's just as ancient, especially when they have Hometown.
And don't go to the Weather Channel either because it's the same ballpark.
Yeah, but you see, my goal is like I love Tom. I used to. I love Tom Snyder. He's like my friend at night. I like that lady who used to come on at 3:00 ago, and that's just the way it was. You know, I'm talking Linda Ellerby, right? And so I this image of a clubhouse that we go to at different parts of the day is still intriguing. It used to be Letterman was the clubhouse.
Sure,
it's an intriguing. What's that?
The first Letterman, not the
I was on the second one. What are you saying?
That's what I'm saying.
What, do you see this guy?
I didn't want to be a club I would never be a club that has you as a member.
All right, look, I don't want to make this. Let's not let this descend into Me Tooism. Both sidesism. Okay, what was I saying? And then
Clubhouse.
Yes, but there isn't.
I had that when I was on later. I had that very strong they were trying to do basically a third fucking talk show in a row.
Right.
And I was like, and it was a half hour. And I was like, we're on at 1:30 in the morning. Why don't we create something a little more intimate and personal for people to feel like they're a part of, as opposed to just doing the third show in a row of the same fucking thing?
That's the that was a good instinct.
It was a good instinct that was not well regarded among the power structure.
Yeah, because they want the format to work again. They want the format to work.
There was also the other thing that was at play was they wanted Kinnear to replace Conan at that point.
Oh, right.
And then Conan just kept kind of getting better, and Greg got a movie. and then it was over. Yeah. You know?
But versions of these that I do sometimes put on, and I can tolerate for a little while, is sometimes I'll put on one of the various Today shows. Good Morning America. I actually like sometimes on CBS, but you get none of these things. You can't say this is going to be my home from 7 to 9.
Well, no one's, it's because those shows aren't designed for you to sit down and watch. Really, they're designed for them to be on while you're getting you ready for work and getting the kids ready. And, it's ambient television.
Because what I'm looking for is in here, Josh.
You can't find it without.
Its home is here. That's right. I want a club to watch a club or join a club when I get up. How about joining me? How about joining Andy Kindler? How about that being enough? Ugh, makes me sick thinking about it. My acting is either getting worse, getting better, or getting more irrelevant or more irrelevant.
I'm pondering.
Is that your ponder face?
It was my ponder face.
Well, I did this. I did today. I listened to music before the show, like the last 5 minutes. I was like a professional.
You heard a song before the show, and this is a
I listened to. Shut the fuck up. I listened to This Masquerade, and so all of a sudden, and I'm listening to it, and it's like, oh my god! Now I feel like a morning disc jockey, and that's not helpful.
Leon Russell, one of the few rock stars who can credibly pull off a top hat as well.
He's unbelievable. I never had heard all of his versions of Dylan songs, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard them. And then if you say you haven't heard them, this is what happens. How could you not have heard them?
Right.
And that's a whole other thing I go down in my mind.
Sure.
And then the other part is I'm superior to him.
Right.
Because I have heard them.
Right.
I have heard them.
Right.
There's still that part of me that's like, did you know that Eddie Haskell was in Vietnam as a point of like stuff I know that you don't know?
Right.
Do you know that Eric Clapton was the third? This is called Slow Hand. All of that stuff.
Right. There's a reason I created the character Blowhardy.
Oh my God, I miss
Chef
Blowhardy. Do you remember our product line, Blowhardy? No.
Chef Blowhardy is you.
I know, but I thought I was enhancing it with that. I still like when I get into fights with people called Ernie Bluesky. I'm Ernie Bluesky. Like he's on Blue Sky. I'm Bobby Blue Sky. I'm Eddie. Or my other favorite thing is symbols you don't know what they are mean. You don't know what lowercase a ba is. That's something for something.
Yeah.
And you say to yourself, who's the villain here? And who's the villain? Andy Kindler. But I can't put myself in social media jail, Josh. I have to embrace myself lovingly, which sounds ridiculous. And I have to
really.
And I have to take out one of my books. What was the one that you mocked? Inner Strength?
I don't know.
Is that the name of the book?
It was the one that the guy was reading on the sideline of a football game, so you decided it applied to you somehow.
That was so good. Inner Excellence, I think is what it's called. Look, the point is, it doesn't matter what book I'm reading. I carry through. I'm the through line that I want to. What is the thing? I'm the dream I want to see. What is it? It's not mine, but I'm the thing I want to see. Something like that.
I'm the change.
Yes, I'm the change. Yeah. That sounds like a narcissistic person. No, be the change.
Well, yeah. And once you can say I'm the change.
Oh, Josh, we're doing what we can during these thunderous times. That's not the right word. During these tumultuous times, we are like a port in the political storm.
Huh.
And we don't care we don't care. Both sides for us. If you believe that Trump's, just an emotional fella who don't believe what he does, just think about what you think you want him to do, or you hate Trump. We want both sides on this show. We don't want to exclude people just because you're a fucking idiot who votes for Trump.
All right.
That should not alienate you if you're a fascist loving asshole.
Did you see Trump's post about the portrait in Colorado?
I saw. I didn't read the whole thing, but it was great, right?
It's great, and yet it's sort of emblematic of my exhaustion too, because it's like
I demand, right?
Well, it's like another troll cycle, It's like, here's this thing that really bothers me. Okay, now is going to be the most ubiquitous image in our lives for the next however long now because of that.
And I think you're right.
And people are going to treat that as if that's political activism. You know?
and don't confuse the fact that it's evil and it works, and that means he's a genius. It doesn't mean he's a genius. He's compelled, and this will be his downfall, I believe. He is compelled, but I've been saying that since 2016.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's him using reverse psychology. I think it really bothers him that shitty portrait is up.
Exactly.
But as much as he does understand a lot about social media, he somehow has that blind spot of he thinks people love him so much that they'll back him up on this without there being the many more people who fucking hate him who will use it to just, as a childish irritant.
Yes. Did you work on your Trump this weekend at least?
I did not, no.
God damn it.
It's never going to happen.
Well, I don't have the desire to have it happen. Oh, here's what I want to talk.
Even people who do it great slip in and out of it.
Yeah, except for James Austin Johnson.
He slips in and out of it sometimes.
He slips out of it too. Yeah. Okay. But what I wanted to talk to you about was, I fucking forget now. I'm sorry.
I was watching some of the, there's a ongoing Boston Celtics doc thing on HBO.
I saw that. I mean, I didn't watch it because I was afraid I would not enjoy it.
And it reminded me of you when they were interviewing Satch Sanders, and I'm just going, what a fucking idiot Candy is. What a fucking idiot.
Wait. I wasn't making fun of him.
I know. You were making fun of me incorrectly. Like I was one of the dead-end kids named Satch Sanders, which, of course, is a Boston Celtic.
What's the name of the guy I like on the Bowery things?
Hunts Hall.
Right, but what's his name?
I don't remember.
His name is Satch.
It's not Satch Sanders. That's all I'm saying.
I apologize. Should I apologize? I mean, should I?
No, this is all old stuff I've castigated you for. I'm just bringing it back.
But if I watched that thing, would I be able to go, you know what? I hate this team. I hate everything they stand for, but well done. And I'm glad I watched it, and I like Bill Russell more.
I mean, you won't hate everything they stand for because they were in the 60s. They were one of the most integrated teams there was.
That makes sense. Even though Red Auerbach was a white redneck. But no, I understand.
He wasn't a white redneck. I mean, he was an asshole. He was a fucking asshole, but he was not a redneck. He was an asshole,
but he was not a racist or anything.
He was a Jewish asshole.
Right.
A
cigar chomping.
The part you hate is the fact that when they had all these black players in the 60s, they were ignored by Boston, basically.
Oh, is that true?
Yes. I mean, they'd come for the finals, but they couldn't fucking fill the arena halfway during the season.
God. Talk about a polarized city.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andy. Talk about it. I'm talking about it on my new show, Polarized City.
And that's why Bill Russell fucking he was just like, I play for the Celtics. I don't play for Boston.
Right. But the thing is, Wilt Chamberlain, who I liked more than Bill Russell.
So, I'm sorry, let me introduce you. Chef Blow RD chiming in. Sorry.
Wilt Chamberlain, who I grew up liking more than Bill Russell, although I liked Bill Russell because he was on Saturday Night Live. I knew he was a cool guy. His politics I didn't like as much. I liked Bill Russell's politics, but I rooted for the Philadelphia Wilt, and wherever he went to the next. He had two championships, right? A couple championships? I think.
Just the one with the Lakers? No, maybe one with Philadelphia, one with the Lakers.
Yeah. Used to be when I was a Sanders, Adam Sandler. Is it Adam Sanders? When I was an Adam Sandler fan, I used to love his bit about when Wilt scores 100 points.
Yeah.
And at the timeout, I was like, who's got Wilt? Who's got stay on him? Very delightful.
Yeah.
But Wilt, he slept with he went a little crazy because he did sleep. He went a little, I mean, you don't have to brag that much, but let's not keep this in Wilt Chamberlain's sexual prowess part. We're talking about this documentary. Is it 30 for 30?
No, it's not.
There's so many things I want to catch up to.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry about that. There's so many things I want to catch up that I see, but I haven't seen them yet. I mean, they're just things about Ali or things about this. I know I want to see them, and then I say to myself, will I ever see them? Is there too much an inundation of material now?
Yeah.
Have you seen Adolescence? Haven't seen it, but it's supposed to be excellent.
I have not, but I have promised my wife that I will watch it so I can discuss it with her because
Has she watched it?
Yes.
And it's supposed to be amazing and depressing, though. That's why I don't know. I can't watch it right now.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I'll watch it
It seems like a feel-bad extravaganza, but
a feel-bad extravaganza, but well done. Yes. Superbly done is what I've heard. I'm going by Mark Harris, who's my favorite reviewer. And when I say favorite reviewer, I mean he used to follow me on Twitter, and now I'm trying to cajole him into following me again by making witty comments.
Uh-huh.
He liked my first...
Andy's here, he'll say.
Yeah, didn't work on the first one.
Uh-huh.
Now, will I go to the next step? Hey, Mark, DM me. No, I'm not. I may think it, but I'm not going to do it. Hey, I used to follow you here.
When I was I wrote something about when I was reading the Mike Nichols biography that he wrote. I wrote something about him. Looking forward to getting back to the Mike Nichols bio, so to see another wonderful fucking thing that happens to him or some shit. You know? And he chimed in. It's like, oh, keep reading because blah 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 blah. And it's like,
well, that's wonderful. You know, I just flash back to other things where you've dropped the ball. But you've dropped the ball on nothing big.
Other things where I've dropped the ball.
You didn't go to. It's not like you went to Pilates and you forgot your Pilates session.
Oh,
you said you've been dropping the ball, like a social media ball.
Not the social media ball. I'm talking about life, actual life.
Like picking up your stuff from the cleaners. I haven't put stuff in the cleaners in many years.
Yeah.
Do you put in your life? Have you put many things to the cleaners?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Why? I don't want to go in there anymore.
Okay.
I stay at home and wear wrinkly things.
Yeah, fine.
What do you take that to the cleaners?
Dress like a fucking hobo. That's fine.
You've been taking me to the cleaners since we start. Look, Josh, I just want to say one thing to you. It's 9:55 and I am not just
We're going over
cooking.
today. We're going over.
We're going over. I'm not just cooking. I'm saying we should go longer just because we're not going to do a follow-up session.
Alert the affiliates.
Alert the affiliates. Alert the affiliates. We may be going over.
Yes.
Yes. And
what's your problem with dry cleaners?
Oh, I don't have a problem. But here's the thing. I've been binge watching Vice. Binge watching some of the stuff on Vice.
Yeah.
Because it takes you think, why would I
love Crockett and Tubbs.
What's that?
I love Crockett and Tubbs.
Why am I watching? In other words, I don't want to see any politics, but it absolutely comforts me to watch. But then it doesn't. It becomes deteriorating because then they're assholes. But I like to watch. It's like I like to watch any kind of storyline thing. So I've watched a few, and then they have a bunch of Dark Side of the Thing shows. Yeah. Dark Side of the Ring, Dark Side of the 90s. And some of those can be great. But then again, it's always me who's the problem. I liked a couple of those Dark Side of the Ring about professional wrestling. Uh-huh. And then I got annoyed because I watched like 2 years in a row and I was starting to get tired of it. It's too much violence. Well, then why don't you watch something different?
Right.
I think, I did want to say something to you. Did you watch Paradise?
No.
Okay. If you don't want my opinion about Paradise, please, for the next 10 seconds, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Spoiler alert. It really falls apart.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You were very happy about it last week.
Oh, my God. And it makes you wonder if it falls. It's like there's an agreement that you have when you're enjoying something that you almost have to continue that agreement to enjoy. In other words, if you go too far, if you go, I like what I'm watching, but they better have the next thing better be good.
Right.
You can't kind of enjoy it as much as you surrendering to it. But if you surrender to it,
the disappointment is greater.
Is greater. So it's like all of a sudden he's saying things like, "This is like I heard this on a show last week. It was like, don't forget how Schmecky died just remember how they lived. You can't do that with me anymore because of Brian Piccolo. That metaphor or whatever is gone from my life because that movie was popular. Hey, forget how Brian Piccolo died. Huh? Why? Remember how he lived. And oh, did he live. And then they have a montage in Brian's song. But one of the finest movies ever made.
It was a TV movie, right, Brian's song?
You want to...
So a TV movie 55 years ago or 50 years ago makes a sentence off limits for the rest?
You know what? I didn't see it as a TV movie. I saw it as one of the greatest movies ever made. When I saw it, it was...
But wasn't it a TV movie?
It probably was, but I was young enough to have heard. How young could I have been? Okay, James Caan was young in it. That's how old this movie was.
Yeah, but
he could have been a football player.
It was early 70s.
Right. So I did not know it was a TV movie, probably, or I probably did.
I could be wrong. That's just how I sort of remember the facts.
Well, here's what I think. The White Lotus now really is, taking over. I mean, it's a phenomenon, which is great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are like talking about it. I think people talked about Brian's song when it came out like that, like a remarkable movie. But I don't know if I'm regionalizing it. Maybe it was just me in New York.
Brian's song is a 1971 ABC movie of
You had the time period, right?
That recounts the life of Brian Piccolo.
MOTW?
Yes. 1971, the year I was born.
Okay, so...
You were 15.
Right. I might have known it was a TV movie, but it hit me at that age. It hit me like, crying, tears, the whole thing. I could barely get through it. You got Gail Sayers in there.
Well, I mean, in those days, a super well watched network TV movie had a bigger audience than a hit theatrical movie.
Right. I see that, and I'm so glad I never watched the one that Reagan watched that got him depressed the day after. I'm glad I never saw that one.
I did see that.
What's it called? The morning after?
The day after.
And wasn't that horrible?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was horrible, but it was so. It wasn't like War of the Worlds horrible in the sense of you didn't like think it was happening or it felt,
But it made you scared though.
It made you a little scared, but people were already scared of a fucking nuclear war.
Enough scared.
So it just felt very much like an important television event as opposed to a, like Roots snuck up on society more than that, but it was after Roots and Holocaust where there could be important TV events.
Right. Right.
But there was I think the hype around it at the time sort of softened the impact of it in a way.
Yeah. But
I think for some people it was like a very stark, awful wake-up call, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I just to be able to communicate what it was like growing up, not maybe in the height of Duck and Cover, but certainly I remember Duck and Cover. So I remember what it was like the symbols of my childhood. Like, for example, I don't even know really, to be honest with you, what a fallout shelter is. Is it for nuclear radiation?
Yes.
Okay, so
there's fallout, like almost like a radioactive snow that will take place after a blast that makes the atmosphere radioactive, and the idea was that you would wait that out in the fallout shelter. Yeah,
so having seen that, I probably was too young to ask what it was. I can say they still have the same. It's the same symbol, like it has 4 somethings on it.
The the triangle, circle,
yeah.
Radiation symbol.
I remember it bringing terror to me, but I've watched things about the Japanese American thing. They're just, if you want to depress yourself, there's nothing more depressing than revisiting all that hate that existed in World War II. Anti-Japanese hate, but also Japanese. It's just like, I guess it's interesting to me because I was more focused on the Holocaust as a kid of things to worry about because I grew up Jewish.
All right.
But I was also born 11 years after the fucking atom bomb, the atom bomb and the Holocaust.
Yeah, I mean, there was more of a, in my generation at least, it was more of a, like when Reagan became president, that felt like, this is going to be our showdown with the Russians, kind of.
Right.
And it felt, I was 10, but I feel like I remember our attitude being more almost cynical or callous to the we're all going to die factor.
Right. No, that's the second part of it, is then all doing acid in college and all this stuff, or, loving the Grateful Dead. They did mock, the people I appreciate did mock the Doomsday thing, but they didn't really. They were more like operating in spite of. It made them more, like Jerry Garcia got in a horrible accident when he was young, and it kind of like changed his whole opinion that he could go at any time. And
yeah, it was a creative nihilism, sort of.
Yes. You know who died this week and whose song I loved is Jesse Colin Young.
Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Going to love one another right now.
I love that song.
Which he did not write, apparently.
He did not write that song. But I just loved. Do you know who wrote it? Or do you know who wrote it?
I did last week, but I don't know.
But just like as a kid, I go, just one key unlocks the door. I mean, I was so focused on his voice and how great his voice was. Oh my God! But that song, right? And that song affected me as a kid. It's like in a way what I would say about Woodstock. No, it wasn't. It wasn't what it was, but the idea of the let's get together and trying to form that thing did feel honest to the times. So I just loved that song.
Yeah, it was Dino Valentini who wrote it, by the way.
Yeah, see now, I think our minds go, what else did he write? Well, he wrote that.
He wrote Hey Joe as well, I think.
Oh, I like Hey Joe. Is that Hendrix?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wrote Harper Valley PTA? Valerie Harper.
Wow. Fun fact.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Why does my mouth get so dry?
So much time with the coffee.
Why does my mouth get so dry? And the reason why they say it does, they say, is that the new replacing the Greek cup that everyone's talking about? I heard about this. It's like a nouveau riche. I'm talking about something no one can see. Doo-dah, doo-dah. I'm making fun of something that's irrelevant all the doo-dah day. I've ruined every podcast with my stupid stunts. I'm 68, going on 12, and I can't stop mentioning my age.
Congratulations for getting all the way through a verse.
That wasn't bad.
It was good.
Yeah. And now I know what you're saying. No, Andy, I'm not taking this to Giorgio Moroder. Wasn't that like a guy who worked in disco?
Disco.
Yeah.
Producer extraordinaire. Donna Summers.
Right. The thing that's hard for me to get, you'd think I would have grown past my adolescent. I know who the lead singer in this is. I know who the lead singer in that is. It's still part of my thing. Like my first reaction is to over-exaggerate how much I know the person. Like, I love Leon Russell.
Right.
But am I a Leon Russell aficionado? No. But I might have previous one. Oh, fucking Leon Russell. He's my guy.
Yeah.
Why? What does that prove? That, oh, okay, Andy, you're wonderful because you also saw someone who was good. Try to psychoanalyze me and get me to drop it.
You're trying to get invited to a party that doesn't exist.
I'm fear of missing out on something that is abstract.
Yes. There's an imaginary party that you go to that is filled with famous and smart people. And you're accepted and lauded there for all you know and your exquisite taste.
That's all. Is that wanting so much? That's what I want.
Yes.
That's what I want. And I want you to go, how do you fucking know so much about Leon Russell and at the same time like R.E.M.? Like, there's nothing. I could listen to every song for the rest of my life, and I wouldn't even approach someone who's an audiophile or someone who really has an encyclopedic catalog of. So why do you even get on that playing field?
Well, I mean, but we have different reasons for that. I feel the same way, except for I'm not worried about being made to feel stupid. I'm worried about being made to be bored off my ass.
Well, explain that more to
because
me.
I don't want to have the long conversation with the audiophile Leon Russell expert.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like when you get out of the provincial, whatever you want to call it, where I thought everybody loves the Beatles. They love them. They love them. Everybody does. And we're talking about this phenomenon and the mop tops and everything. And you can see how a lot of these other musicians who the air got sucked out of their room, it was like, fuck the Beatles. I
have had one of my challenges in life has been that the Norm Macdonald joke, the what do I stand to gain from this lie? Have you heard Sting's new album? Yeah. What do I stand to gain from this lie?
Right.
I've spent genuine energy trying to say no when someone says, have you heard this and you haven't, or seen this and you haven't.
That's gross.
Because every instinct in me wants to say yes.
Yes. And there's so many reasons for it that go beyond just the thing. It's like you want to make the person feel good about what they're saying sometimes.
Yeah. And you want to impress them by knowing what they're talking about.
And that's where I'll never forget this. Eddie Gordesky is a writer, and I
saw him the other night at the screening.
Oh, cool! I've seen him. How was he doing?
I didn't get to speak to him. There was just too many folks
So he invited me over to his house because he is a music file, and he just has a great So he puts on this.
He wrote all the scripts for Bob Dylan's radio show on Sirius.
Right. Oh, I didn't know that, but he put this Bob Dylan bootleg on where the guy yells out, "You're Judas," that whatever that. And originally that was from a bootleg, or I don't know. It was from the Royal Albert Hall. It was something that came out.
Yeah.
A little bit later, and so I said, "Oh, I've heard this." He immediately takes it off. Oh no! I want to hear it again. Oh, no. He wanted the excitement of turning me on to something I hadn't seen, and once he had known I arrested it, had no interest in the song.
Yes, Eddie is a curator.
Right.
He used to put out these these Christmas albums years ago on cassettes that he would send out as Christmas gifts, and it would be these incredibly eclectic mixtapes of Christmas stuff that he'd send out every year to people, and they were great. They were great
because it was, way before you had all of this stuff online. You could just call up Christmas hits.
Yes.
So I remember every year of those.
He's one of those guys for whom the internet really hurt them, I think.
Well, in terms of...
My father was one of those people, too. My father took great pride in being Chef Blowhardy in most situations. And I think the fact that the internet could have served that purpose that he served for so many people he would have felt undermined.
The thing is, I don't want to be so self-conscious that I don't have any joy, that I can't have any joy in communicating. Like if Susan doesn't know something and I do know, and I'm informing her of it, there is a certain joy in that. Yes. There can be a joy in that. It's just a fine line between that and Chef Blowhardy. Next question, please. It's like that type of thing.
Right.
If you set yourself up as the answer.
Well, it also depends on how truly appropriate to the conversation you're being.
Yes.
Because sometimes you'll take the left turn in order to show your little bit of knowledge about something.
Well, yes. No. That's the most embarrassing.
Tangential blowhardyism is really worse than...
because it's earnest. No. I don't think you understand that that Mike Bloomfield, who played on the original... I used to have 7 facts I knew about these things. No. Al Cooper... He came on a thing. I don't remember what the 7 facts were.
Right.
But I knew every single thing, and then about the basement tapes, and it is that earnest thing. Like, what you don't know? I'll tell you what you don't know. You're gonna love it when you hear it. And that doesn't work more than the first time you heard that.
That was one of the things about the Complete Unknown, the Dylan movie. That was one of those moments that I fucking hate about music biopics, where they They make the trivia facta scene, which was the Al Cooper playing organ on Like a Rolling Stone and just sort of jumping in at the last minute and everyone going, hey, you know.
Oh, and they reproduced it?
They actually acted that whole scene out.
I hate that like poison. I do too. I like to hear a story about the guy playing on the Marty Robbins album, the New West, you know, whoever played the guitar there, or how some of those guys got feedback by mistake at first,
right,
and then the guy in the booth either loved it or they loved the way it sounded, but that's not what they intended to do.
Right. Now the Beatles got a lot of their guitar sounds by defeating the board at Abbey Road in the early days.
Oh, you mean like overloading it?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
then as electronics got better, that became impossible.
But
they had fights with engineers who were like, "No, you can't do that." And they were,
which they showed that
exactly
a little bit.
What we want to do.
Didn't they show that a little bit on something? Either on the Let It Be or I don't know. Yeah. I'm trying to think of these names. Glenn Johns or whatever.
Well, Glenn Johns was on Let It Be as the producer.
Right. But you know, I think there could be a thing. I'm going to see my therapist about it. And I also have a psychiatrist too. And I'm going to ask them, is it a syndrome I have where every 15 to 20 minutes I start to fill myself with self-loathing and then it starts to spill out? I think it's from knowing so much of how I appear to be that I'm really tired of it. Oh, Josh, this really great thing I watched last week. Have I told you about it? And then it goes on and on and on. And it's like, I can't convey it.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to do something that's not appropriate. You know what I'm doing? I'm getting ahead of my skis.
No, you're over your skis.
Oh yeah. Okay. Why? Oh, you can't get ahead of your skis.
No, you can't. It's physically impossible.
All right. So you get over your skis and you fall down on your head like a moron.
Yeah.
I can't understand how anybody can accomplish one ski thing, one ice skating event, one roller skating. I can do none of them, don't understand it, and I don't believe that ankles should be doing it.
I can do 2 or 3 of them. I can't do ice skating.
I couldn't have grown up in Canada. Could you have grown up in Canada? Where we play hockey this weekend?
I did, basically.
Pretty close.
Yes.
But you didn't play hockey, did you?
I didn't, but it was as much hockey culture in Minnesota as there is in Canada almost.
What would they have done with me? I couldn't skate. You're never going to teach me how to skate.
No, you would not have been a hockey player, nor would I.
But then wouldn't I have been mocked? What's fucking Kindler and Weinstein doing?
I mean, I was mocked, but not because of my hockey prowess.
I guess what you're saying, too, is that area, even though hockey is not as big a sport everywhere, but that area it's big.
Well, when I was growing up, it was a bunch of fucking mullet-sporting meatheads who played hockey, so it wasn't like an appealing scene for me anyway.
Do you think that the mullet, I think, is so problematic on so many levels, and yet I understand what it's trying to do?
Yes.
It's trying to say that
business on top and a party in the back. That's all.
Exactly. That is what it is. But that you're minimizing it there. You're kind of making fun of it. I'm saying I can see him. Well, the fact that I could see on my own head where you could have the tendency to does not mean that I went there. I did wear acid wash jackets.
I've been accused of having a mullet in those days, but in fact, it was a wild mane I had. It was because it was long on top as well. It wasn't that short. It wasn't Billy Ray. The true mullet is short on top, long in the back.
So, and Bill Hicks was accused of it sometimes. I don't think he really was a mullet. No, he had the leather jacket, the timeless leather jacket. He did.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it like I know. I guess the problem with me is that I say so many unimportant things, so many derisive things. You never know what's my point in saying that.
Right. Well, and you expect reactions that just couldn't possibly result from what you said. Hence
the difficulty that I've had in my life. Now, I'm not even counting the rosacea or I've been mixing up these two words, and they're not the same. I mix up rosacea and psoriasis.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
They're not the same, but they're the same family of afflictions.
Do you know that Susan...
They both make people go, ugh.
I'm hooked up to a contraption that every time I make a mistake like that, it gets logged into a senior thing.
Yeah.
Well, for example, I always mix up artichokes and avocados. I can mix them up all the time. It's some kind of dyslexia, mellow dyslexia.
But do you mix them up in conversation or in practice?
Yes. No, not in practice.
Like, do you find yourself trying to mash artichokes into guacamole?
That sounds like it would be insane. But it would be like...
That's my question.
It's like if I'm ordering online to the Instacart guy and I want avocados, maybe I would say artichokes. But I would never. It would be crazy to be
Either way, they're going to pick out shitty ones.
Well, that's our fear. That is our big fear.
This is why I can't do Instacart. It'll just infuriate me.
Oh, by the way, I've announced Andy Kindler is now off the streets. I'm off the streets.
I know that's in the malls.
In the malls, and also I'm doing this bike 30 minutes a day.
Oh, good.
Do I love the bike? No.
No.
But I feel it's the only way to do. In other words,
have you fallen off the bike? No.
No. If I do, then we're really in trouble. Yes. But the point is, I now feel like I can do that every day, and that will replace the type 2 diabetes fight I was doing with the walking. And then I can walk in malls and walk with Susan. But it really is dangerous if I'm a guy who has ADHD and I'm walking from here down to Woodman or whatever. It's never going to be like a mall.
It's not.
So I'm asking for trouble. I don't want that trouble anymore. And I'm very happy, and I hope the listeners will appreciate my new direction.
I also believe at the mall, if you do fall, more people will come to your aid than on the street.
I can walk faster because what happens is you're walking on uneven pavement, and so you're hitting.
Yes, we've heard.
You're hitting it, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be very hard to. Although sometimes I do go fast.
Yeah.
I should probably never.
Don't tumble down the escalator accidentally because you got too much momentum.
Right. I should probably not even, like, if you're across the street, it shouldn't be, hey, let me catch up with you. I shouldn't be running over to you. No. What's the point?
Hey, Josh, wait for me, you can say.
Right. Wait for me and walk up like an old man and walk like a Tai Chi master, like David Carradine used to teach. Mindfully. Thank you. You know, I think the thing is, there's a lot of, I don't get enough attaboys. I hate those kind of things. You know, he needs a little attaboy. That just sounds like it's just like when people go, when they're telling you a story, think this. Now you explain it to me. You're writing it. Think punk rock.
My mom liked attaboys. My mom liked praise. She wanted it. It fueled her approval.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm saying the expression attaboy I don't like.
Yeah.
It's just like honeydew list. If my wife really called it that, I probably would never do anything. I could not possibly do a chore. If she's like, I have my honey-do list, it's not happening.
It's the do it fuckface list instead.
Don't you sometimes wish you had a hardware store, even though we both know, well, you probably know more about hardware than I do, but I just want that neighborhood. I just want to get a wrench.
Yeah.
But I'm walking like down the street. You're saying I have to go to Ace or something like that.
Yeah, it's just beyond Woodman. It's beyond your range.
Oh, I like that one on Ventura is nice. Mm-hmm. The neighborhood store. So I'll drive there.
Just like an old-timey hardware store.
That's where I'll drive.
You should.
I'm driving, though.
Yes, drive. That's what I do.
But it used to be if I wanted to go for a walk with Gary Goldman, I would walk to the park. Now if I'm going to go to a walk with Gary Goldman, I'll meet him at the park and we'll walk in old man sand areas. That park is huge, by the way. Oh, yeah. It's ample. No, I'm not saying it's the world's largest park. No, there's a lot of open areas in north of Encino. You're absolutely right. Well, there's horse places in Burbank, too. So, what did we learn today?
I have an insanely early flight on Wednesday.
Oh, my God. You really... what does that mean? Tell me what insanely early
6 a.m. flight.
Well, there's not a million direct flights up there.
There's not a million. And some of them cost several $100s more than others, it turns out.
I use Northwest, and I'm very happy with them.
You use Northwest, a non-existent airline?
How about this one? Come on down on Northeast Airlines. Oh, my God.
Eastern. It's the
Eastern
only
Airlines.
way to fly.
Yeah. I thought Pan Am was I don't understand why that didn't stick, because that was a good name. Pan Am.
I don't know if I ever flew a Pan Am flight or a TWA flight.
That sounds like I would want to be trans world.
I think I did do a TWA flight.
Hey, don't buy a Fiat. You know why? Fix it again, Tony. Don't buy a Ford. Fix and repair daily. Hey, don't fly Delta. Don't ever leave the airport. You would think that style of humor would either be outlawed or there would be a price to pay if you indulged in it.
I think there would be a price to pay if you indulged in it on stage.
Well, that's the thing. I do say I like stupid puns, but then I'll bring them on stage with me.
Yeah.
You know? And
not on my watch.
That's a very pungent insult that my best jokes are still
stupid
just
puns. Yeah.
That's not my first rodeo, is what I answered on the questionnaire. My second rodeo. It's all variations of that.
Yes.
It's just, it's like Mitch Hedberg stuff, but not as good. That's all I'm doing.
Right.
But not as compelling.
Right. But you're alive.
But I'm alive, and I'm still here to do it, and I have a lot to give.
So
I can make another album. I will be making another album. Really, Andy? How many sets have you done this week? Don't make it about how many sets I've done. All right? Oh, I got booked at the club. There's a club in like North Hollywood that I got booked at.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know this one, right?
Is it a top 65 club?
No. But you had mentioned this to me. It's like on Lancashire and something or other.
Is it the Comedy Chateau?
Something like that, yes. So
right
to me, they go...
right by your manager's office?
They said, do you want to come there? I said, where is it again? Yes, I'll go there now. You kidding me?
There you go.
Maybe the Baked Potato will be the next big comedy room.
Maybe.
It's still open.
Right now it's number 66.
Well, you don't have to go over the hill anymore for fantastic comedy.
No, you just have to be over the hill. Am I right?
Oh, that's an old... I wouldn't even get that because I never think of myself as old.
Uh-huh.
So, but I understand.
It'll work because everyone else does.
That's not true. People, when I look at myself in the mirror, I do not see myself as an old person. And I think I'm probably the youngest human I've ever seen at this age. People think I'm like 32, 5, 10. Gray hair. I'm not coloring it like you. All right. So just.
No, that's a hat. That's a hat.
No wonder. No wonder why it looks the same every week. The world's most stupidest man thinks hair is a hat.
Well, it's been fun, Andy.
You know, I just want to say I'm very proud of myself, Josh, that I've never worn out my welcome. It's not funny. It's not good. It's not coherent. It won't edit well, but at least I'm getting rid of it.